So, Sharky, could you yeet a mattress off a balcony at a convention?
I mean, if I could get away with it, I'd damn well try.
I think
that'd be quite the
Furthermore,
hotel charge.
2020, we're gonna do that.
God, no! Please
Yes.
don't.
Let's
No,
do
no. You're going
I
to.
think that's how you get banned from the
Yes, you're gonna get the Hyatt Regency so mad that they're gonna fucking yeet Furthermore out of Arlington. That's what gonna
Okay,
happen.
FAU 2020, let's do it.
You want them to just die, don't you?
What, FAU? Yeah, makes sense.
This episode of Furry Frequencies is brought to you by Jepenson's Malort. Guaranteed to be the worst tasting bullshit you will ever drink, or it's free. Jepenson's Malort, the greatest and worst thing to happen in Chicago since the Chicago fire. Hello and welcome to Furry Frequencies, the soundtrack to your furry life. My name is Lifty, and we are here at Midwest Furfest 2019 in beautiful Rosemont, Illinois. And joining us on this podcast tonight is Silox,
Hey, how's it going?
Sharky,
Sup, bitch?
and our special guest for this evening, Riley Lahti. Go ahead.
I'm also here too, I suppose. I'm a special guest, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, very special.
Very special indeed.
Yes. So on tonight's podcast, of course, we are going to put MFF front and center. We're going to discuss the highs and the lows, and also provide advice and tips about 2020, MFF, and also talk about Chicago and some really crazy fun stories that we've heard about Chicago, and also the traditions that we heard about. But first,
Inexperienced.
yes. But first, we want to turn it over to our special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to our audience.
Well, I'm Riley Lahti. I've lived in Chicago for about 6 years now, grew up in the suburbs, and I've been going to MFF for the past probably about 4 years now. And I do art, kind of, sort of, not really.
Yep.
And I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's good. It's not bad. Silox,
Yeah, what's up?
you sound very quiet.
Well, no, I'm just listening to our special guest give his life story.
My life
Oh.
story.
Yes. and
Was it sufficient?
It
Yeah,
was,
it was pretty
more
good.
than sufficient.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I tried to keep it brief.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So we're all attending MFF 2019. It is, of course, the 20th anniversary of MFF.
It is.
It is. The shirt's very pretty.
God, I
Sure.
can't believe it's been 20 years.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 20 years either. Like, the furry fandom has been around for at least 20 years.
Over that.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's been around since what, the
80s?
80s?
80s.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
God.
remember. You remember Brian Swords of York?
Yes.
That was
Have you
back
seen
in-
the auction house video with his stuff?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's wonderful.
That's where
That is
I'm
truly
like.
wonderful.
That's where I'm. I know what his furry name is. I'm not really gonna say it because I don't really want to like draw attention to him right now. But
So
when
on
I
Dig,
watch
you can
these,
find his stuff.
yeah, you can find his stuff. If you watch these videos on YouTube, you will definitely see him be represented as Brian Swords of York, and I've always thought of it as, oh wow, this is such a regal title. Mr. Brian Swords of York has provided this yiff
art
piece. It's called Yiffing in the Moonlight.
They're all like relatively suggestive, but they're not inherently pornographic. But they're very suggestive.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this piece called Surfacing. It's like just two naked rats.
Yes, I love it.
What the fuck kind of accent was that?
Quiet you.
Is that like a British accent? That's terrible.
Brian Swords of York. That's
That's
even
a better
worse.
one. That's
That's
a better
better.
one. Yes.
That's not better.
Better than his. But
Better than his.
Yeah.
Oh, you're terrible.
He's very terrible.
You're very terrible.
Very terrible.
That's not British.
You're
anymore.
terrible.
I am, unfortunately. But MFF, God, what can I say about MFF?
You can say a lot of things.
Yes, so MFF this year has been quite the mixed bag.
Isn't always.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing coming into this, sans the room lottery, was the issue. Well, we can't talk about that. That's right. We can't talk about you know who.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about
we'll
other
say they
things.
at least handled it well, and the problem is not here.
Yes,
I
the
think
problem.
that's sufficient.
The problem child did not arrive. It was all a big brouhaha for nothing.
I was still hoping that fucker would get arrested.
You know what? I was hoping he would come and someone would deck him in the face. That's what I was hoping for, because he needs
What a
his.
pussy. He didn't hold his word.
Yeah, he's a little bit.
Did you
that might
want
be-
him to hold
yeah.
his word? Nah, I
That
didn't.
might be for the
I want to
best.
see him get the shit beat out of him.
I mean, I don't really want a riot at my convention personally, even if it'd be fun to see some asshole just get his shit handed to him.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean
Yeah.
riot? I can
I-
riot and get a TV for
Would it be
free?
a riot?
What?
So there was going to be like a counter protest if he did show up with like two groups that do not mix well with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, those-
Rose
and
City
that-
Antifa and the Proud Boys.
yeah.
That would have gotten very quickly out of hand, as it does.
I mean, I just
So-
heard riot, and I assumed that we were gonna,
Were there any
we were gonna
police
rob
on
shit and get
standby for any
TVs.
of
So
those?
Yes, actually, there is an increased police presence here at MFF. You have people, you have policemen, of course, directing traffic. You have armed and uniformed policemen at the Hyatt in the convention center. You have police pretty much all over.
Yeah, there's definitely an increased
So
police
yes,
presence.
somebody did actually request a police presence at MFF this year, and
Which
you
is
can
probably
definitely notice
smart.
it. Yeah. The good news is that I haven't really heard much of any complaints about the increased police presence at MFF, which
Thank
Hey,
God.
they're
Didn't
there
have
to
any of
do a
those
job.
fuckers
Yeah.
around.
and they're
Annoying
they're
would be
doing
to
our
have
job.
Some fucking fur go up to an officer and be like, "You're all terrible people. Yeah. Give me attention. I'm a victim."
Oh jeez.
well, we haven't seen that. If anything, people are thanking the officers.
Yeah.
Which I think is great.
Yeah,
Fuck
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially those that
All
are
officers for what they do.
especially those officers that are out on River Road that are directing traffic all throughout the night. Bless their heart. They're
I
doing
think even not necessarily like just a general safety thing. You got like fursuiters. It's very hard to see through those.
Yeah.
And some people, they have a little few drinks and it's hard to cross the road. So
Yeah.
it is a necessary thing, and
Mhm.
it is a
That would
very
be
nice
me. I'd
service.
be drunk as fuck walking through Chicago, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
I know you would.
I tried your suit head on for the first time. It is just like it feels like you got cataracts. It's really
Yeah.
rough to see. I mean, I have
Yeah.
glasses on. I had to take my glasses off too, so that just made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, mine it's a little bit difficult to see, but I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
His new head though is the visibility is worse.
Really?
Yeah, but that's mostly because of where the eyes are in my face. That's why. It's more or less to do with
They don't
that.
like line up.
They don't.
So-
Which is fine. I can work with that.
But that brings up you got a new suit
I did.
here at MFF.
I did. I had my suit delivered to me on Thursday. It is made by Twinkie Arts, and it is an amazing suit,
Mhm.
and I really, really, really love it.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I'm glad I made the choice to get one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how much it was because people like to give me shit for that, but yeah, no, it was worth
Dare
it.
you buy something expensive with your own money?
Oh God. Okay.
Should've got me a suit.
I think being a
How
furry
dare
is
you
just
have
expensive in
luxury?
general.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It is. It is.
I mean, between all the porn commissions and the fursuits and
I feel
Just
attacked.
going to a convention in
going to
general?
conventions.
Yeah.
I feel attacked. Thank you.
Have you seen how many porn commissions there are of Clef?
I have
That was
more than
before you
Clef.
bought the character, though, right?
Yes, they're all
But
they
I-
were all commissioned before I bought.
I have definitely seen clef porn.
It's great.
Some of it's very good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not complaining about it one bit.
Well, yeah, because you're not the one who bought it. That's why.
Exactly, and the person who bought it is definitely enjoying it. They are enjoying their purchase. So I am enjoying their purchase as well.
Oh God.
I am very much enjoying their purchases.
See, everybody's enjoying the purchase. It is a good purchase.
There's nothing wrong with buying commissions.
There really isn't. No.
Support artists. It's fun.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go. You support artists. So, going back to MFF, let's go ahead and like chronicle each of our experiences, I guess, day by day. Let's start off with Thursday.
So I assume registration is probably going to be the first thing we talk about because it's
Yeah,
the first
let's
thing
go
you
ahead.
have to do.
Yeah, let's.
So the thing I heard a lot from most people, and I even found myself saying this, it's not as bad as last year, but it's still bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad.
It's bad, but like, so last year we got there Thursday night, reg Friday morning, and we stood in line for at least 3 hours. This year I did it Thursday night, and it was more like an hour and a half. So it was about half the time, but it still wasn't great. There were still a lot of people, and the pre-reg lines, they still haven't fixed those. I think those are actually worse.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple friends, one of them flew in from Canada, and of course he pre-regged to just get all the stuff squared away. And he was in that line for 3 hours. I remember one of our friends was also in the pre-reg line, and he sent me a message like, there's a sign here that says, you have an hour past this point, and then you'll finally get to the end. And it was not joking. It was a solid hour from there. So when I talked to the other friend who'd flown in from Canada, I was like, oh, have you seen the "you have an hour here" sign from... Yeah, and he was just like, no, is that a thing? I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I already had my badge at that point, and I didn't pre-reg.
Ride line, like, you're gonna have to wait this long before
Yeah,
you
it
ride
was a
ride.
little rough.
It's actually like an amusement park ride.
Well,
because
what is that bit that everyone keeps referencing? Because I've heard it so many times.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd
Yeah.
Parents.
He's
This
like-
is the ride.
It's like, when do we get to the ride? This is the ride.
Yeah, I've heard that at least like 1,000 times in just a
Yeah.
single day.
because that's
Line
what it's
for the line.
become.
It
Yeah,
really
it
has.
really
Have you ever been to Hershey Park or Knoebels? They have signs posted on the rides that say, like, if you are here, you have 45 minutes before you get to the ride.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And that long for a ride.
Yeah.
And they are not kidding.
Yeah.
It is like 45 minutes from that point to the front of the ride. And now it's like we're at a furry convention, and now the line is the ride.
Yeah.
Of course.
I know they broke 10K last year, and this year it might be a little bit around there. It might be down to 9K, but it's still a fair bit of people.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've been able to handle it, quite frankly. Like they're a little short-staffed, so
Yeah.
we do appreciate the people who do actually end up doing stuff because they're all volunteers. So
Yeah.
that is a hard job to have to wrangle that many people, but they need more help.
Yeah, they
for
do.
Just the
And
sheer volume they
I
have.
think with all the negative feedback that people have heard and said about the registration at MFF, people are very hesitant to actually get up in front and volunteer for registration.
Because they know it's going to be rough.
They know it's going to be rough, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's the job nobody wants. And, I can sympathize with that.
I can too.
Yeah.
But I would say that they need to do a much better job when it comes to printing out badges because...
Oh, it was like an auction house this year. It was terrible.
Yes, that's what it pretty much was. Yes, they were literally... It felt like an auction house.
Did you see Keim's tweet?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's wonderful. So, because it's like an auction house and they're just yelling out things, I think Keim just registered as water is just diet pee. just to make someone yell that out for like 5 solid minutes.
I knew somebody was going to do something like that, and
It was
MFF
wonderful.
would have fallen for it because they do this. Oh my god! I love that.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna type on my badge Wolf Clef at Dumpster FireCon just to see if they would actually.
Didn't you originally want to do Russian characters?
I wanted to do
fixed it
Russian
this year.
character. Yes, they made it so you can't. So you can only type in alphanumeric characters in the English language.
I would hope so.
Wait,
So-
that's what you did the past couple
So
times
nothing
you were
Cyrillic.
here.
Yeah.
And they just didn't know what to do with it. They're just like,
Yeah.
what's this
Last
say?
time I was here, I was in 2017.
I think they just said unpronounceable.
Yeah, they said something like unpronounceable. It's like, what?
Oh, that's probably me.
Yeah,
geez,
that's
that's
me. Well, I've gotten used to it because my real name is unpronounceable too.
Oh, that's fair.
But When it comes to registration, I did not pre-register. I registered on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did it online, and then I went to the line.
How was the Friday line?
The Friday line, I got in at 9:30, which is about half an hour before they started, and I was like in the middle of the line. I spent about an hour and 15 minutes waiting
That sounds
before I
about
got
right.
before I got my badge. Now, here's where I'm going to fault them on. They ran out of lanyards.
So, on that note, the lanyards, they didn't even have them Thursday. I guess their shipment got messed up or something. So, if you regged Thursday, you didn't even get a lanyard.
Damn.
I was kind of, because last year, too, they ran out of lanyards very quickly. So, I was just expecting an issue, and I just brought an old lanyard. I was like, I'm just going to use that because they're not going to have any. And, of course, they don't.
Yeah. They didn't have any for Friday either. So, I don't know what happened with their lanyard situation.
I think they
but
probably just, once they finally got them, they ran out quickly again.
yeah.
And one
But
thing,
I got
seems
my
like
own
they-
lanyard from
It seems like they
Persona
do
Pins.
never have enough. But if they're going to theoretically give out a lanyard per badge, well, I guess not everyone pre-regs, so they can't. But I think you should be able to guesstimate at least, right? Like you broke 10K
Oh yeah,
last
there's
year.
an easy way to
You should
guesstimate.
probably
What I would
order
always
10K lanyards for this
Well,
year.
what I would suggest is a little bit of use a little bit of statistics, and what I would suggest is take the growth rate of the convention, so add that to last year's totals, and then add one standard deviation from that towards that to account for unexpected growth.
Unexpected
and
growth, yeah.
that would be a very reasonable estimate of how many things to buy.
I don't really know how they're doing as far as growth. I've heard some people speculate that after like all the sort of minor grievances that they're going to just go sort of float around 10K and not grow too much from there, which I think is fine because I don't know if they'd be able to handle more than 10K at this rate.
I'm going to give you a hot take.
So, what's up?
MFF didn't grow this year. They actually shrunk.
It might have.
It might
No,
have.
no,
I
no.
am
There-
not
there's-
surprised at all.
No.
Because last
I'll-
year was pretty rough.
No, I'll tell you why they did. Because when I went to the hotel last year on Thursday, there were a lot of people there congregating that night. This year, there was not a lot of people at all. It was barren. Okay? This was Thursday night. Usually you see people in fursuits. I didn't see that many people. So I think the whole room lottery stuff and the threat
Between
with
that and the
and
threat
Milo
and
that thing
that person.
and the outstanding issues with registration and LineCon, I think that took a toll on their attendance. And it would not shock me if they went below 10,000 this year.
Yeah,
probably
I mean, it
floating
would
around
not.
like
It would
90.
not shock me
Does
either.
not surprise me at all.
Now, I will say this. Today, I got an anonymous tip from an anonymous staffer from MFF about the growth of MFF and what options the convention has when it comes to other venues. Now, here's the shocking thing that people do not realize about the growth of MFF. If MFF grows or outgrows the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, guess how many other venues they can move to in the
One.
Chicago area?
The one in downtown Chicago.
One,
And that is
exactly.
very
The
expensive.
McCormick Center, the world's largest convention center. They can't outgrow that. No matter how big the furry fandom grows, they cannot outgrow that.
Yeah, but they need a lot of people to.
They do need a lot of
staff
people.
that, run that, and also just to afford it.
They also need to
'Cause
ensure that
downtown Chicago would be very expensive.
yes, they also need to ensure that they have continuous growth year after
Well,
year.
that's what
To
I'm.
sustain it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a bit premature to even consider
So,
that
yeah, it
because
is a
you
bit
have
premature.
you have anime cons that come through here that have like 30,000 people and
they
and that-
run.
and the
They
Donnelly
rent the.
Stevens.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so it will be a very long time before MFF has to even consider moving.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't like Furthermore, which had to move
Yeah.
because they ran out of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
think there's enough space here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just throwing it out there.
And while I'm on the subject, I take issue to the fact that MFF, quote unquote, ran out of sponsorship.
Oh
year.
God.
Yeah, I heard about
yes.
that too. That
Yes.
seemed a little
so
bizarre.
I had to spend $240 to upgrade from attendee to shiny sponsor just so I can avoid spending 4 hours in the other line. I don't know how you run out of sponsorship.
I don't know either. That is very bizarre.
My thing is, you would
There
obviously.
shouldn't be a limit on that spot.
No, there
There
shouldn't
shouldn't.
be. There's not a limit on shiny sponsors either.
Yeah.
But just regular sponsors there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ran out.
Yeah.
What's like the caveat to that? Is there? I'm trying to think of why there would even be a reason. Like, do they? Like they have gifts for sponsors, I assume, but they're usually just like little things, right?
Yeah.
But
they're
also-
the same gifts for shiny
The
sponsor.
same gifts for
as
shiny
well.
sponsors.
Yeah,
so,
they add a few more gifts for shiny
the
sponsors
shinies.
than
Yeah.
So
the regular
I
sponsors.
don't get that.
No, I don't get that either. That's just it's crazy how that happened, but yeah, it happened. MFF this year ran out of regular sponsorships. Everybody had to upgrade to shiny sponsors if they wanted the perks of sponsorship.
No, I think, and this is a conspiracy of mine. I think
Well,
they
most
just
everybody.
I think they just wanted more money. That's my conspiracy because I don't know how the hell you run out of sponsorships. That's not possible. But you
That
still
would
have
be
shiny
that would be a scandal if that was true. That would be a crazy scandal. It would totally destroy MFF's reputation if that was true.
That's the only plausible thing I can come up with because it makes no sense that if shiny sponsor and sponsor have roughly the same gifts with the former having a little bit more stuff, how is that not sold out but sponsorship is? Makes
That is
no sense.
Yeah, that
It does
is
seem
yeah.
bizarre.
The thing is, there are differences between sponsor and their shiny sponsor. There's a negligible difference, if really any, to be honest.
I know, but what Silox is saying is that everybody who got a shiny sponsorship, they got all the perks of a shiny sponsor, which includes all the perks of regular sponsorship, plus a few more. So if they had everything for shiny sponsors, why couldn't they have everything for regular sponsors? Does that make sense? Like, why couldn't they continue to give out sponsorships? What did they run out of? What exactly made it so that they...
ran out badges, probably.
Well, everybody gets the same badge.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah,
they print out the
they-
same badges. They just give you a...
sticker.
Yeah, they give you a
I
sticker.
bet you it
Yeah.
was just an
Yeah.
excuse to get people to buy more just to upgrade to shiny sponsor.
That's what I think. I think that that's the only plausible that's the only plausible thing I can think of. They wanted more money.
That's
Now
incredibly shady.
I'm not saying that's
Like, that
what
have
happened,
they
but
have to be cash grabbing at this point because they know their attendance is going to be so less.
That's a bitch move if
Yeah.
they did that. Absolutely bitch
And this
move.
is all just
That's
purely
straight
conjecture, but
almost
who knows?
fraud at
I'm
that
sure
point.
Yeah, we don't know.
someone will probably do some digging and we'll find out what it has happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that did happen. Maybe something else happened. Maybe someone just really dropped the ball super hard.
Yeah.
Hear
Which
that, internet?
I
You
don't
got a
put
fucking
that past
job
this
to do.
con,
Fuck 'em
unfortunately.
up.
Hey, now, nobody's a personal army here.
yeah, you speak
No.
for yourself.
So, yeah, so registration. Well, actually, what I've heard about registration furthermore is that the times to wait, the waiting times actually vary because I said that I waited about an hour, 15 minutes. I talked to a friend who I met as I was making my way from the Hyatt to the convention center, and he said he waited only 2 seconds.
I mean, there are a lot of variables too. It
Yeah.
depends like what day
So-
you go, whether you pre-reg or not. Pre-reg
Yeah.
actually makes it worse, which seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, yeah.
Because more people pre-reg,
Mhm.
and then they don't have enough staff to accommodate that.
Yeah. But also in past years, was registration bad all 4 years, or was it like bad during the very beginning of the convention?
That I'm not
and it
sure.
Eased out.
Because a couple years ago I regged on Saturday because I could only be there for one
I
day.
remember-
it
yeah.
took like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember when I came in 2017, I still had to stand in a very, very long line to register for just Saturday.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on the time of day too.
Yeah,
Like,
so
there's a lot
that
of
might
variables
also
that
be
go
a
into it.
sign that MFF's attendance figures are slipping. Because if
They're gonna slip because they really done fuck themselves this year.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
They brought this shit on themselves.
The first problem was the room lottery. That was their first mistake.
Yeah.
They should have never done that.
Room lottery, and also just like the fact that they don't dedicate space for artists, whereas every other con does, seems a little.
Well, no. Have you
annoying.
seen? Speaking of the room lottery, have you seen Pepper Coyote's tweet about what the Hyatt Regency was doing?
No,
I
what
did
were they
not.
doing?
So I don't have the tweet up in front of me, but the gist of it was that the Hyatt Regency was charging people who already registered for a double room.
Uh-huh.
They were saying that their registration was already sold to somebody else. And then they were going to say, well, if you pay extra for basically the same amount
thing.
for another double room, we will give you a double room. So basically, these people are forced to be paying twice for the same double room.
Fucking wrong.
That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong.
I think that's more on the Hyatt's part, though, isn't it?
That is on the Hyatt.
Like
Yeah,
they just smelled money and they're like, "Oh, give me some of that."
yeah, that is the Hyatt.
Yeah, because we didn't book out of the Hyatt. We booked well, you booked, but I'm
Yeah, I booked.
staying with you.
Well,
but like hotel half a mile away, and I kind of like that a little more.
yeah,
It's away from the chaos when you want to kind of wind down, and
Mhm.
it's significantly less money.
yeah. I mean, I booked
Well, I
through.
always say, book a fucking hotel that isn't fucking related to the con. And
Yeah.
if you book a room with them, don't say you're there for the con, otherwise they'll raise the rates up.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Well, what I did is I booked a Hotwire hot rate, and I was able to actually discern what hotel was in the hot rate when I booked. So I knew what I was getting when I got it, and I got it for a pretty sweet deal. I
Yeah.
mean, I got 3 nights at the Marriott Suites O'Hare for $330. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
That's really fucking good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if
Fucking
you,
fantastic.
yeah,
But I always say this to everyone. You know when the con's gonna happen, book your fucking hotel very far fucking ahead
mm-hmm,
of when the con date's happening, along with your fucking flight there if necessary.
mm-hmm.
Because your price is gonna be so much less if you try to last second book it than I see it a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
is really fucking annoying because you'll tell people all the time, do this, do that, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they don't do it, and they're like, why did this happen? Why the fuck do you think it happened? You didn't heed my words, young one.
Yeah,
Thus you must perish with an empty wallet.
yeah. So we're gonna retweet what Pepper Coyote said about the Hyatt situation, so everybody can get up to speed on what happened. But yeah, that was really fucking shady on the Hyatt's part, because they're saying 2 contradictory things. They're saying that one, they don't have any double rooms.
And then
finding
these double rooms
and then there- yeah.
people for twice the price.
Yeah, they're saying we don't have double rooms, but we'll sell you a double room for the double room price. It's like, bitch, we already paid. You already paid. Why do they gotta pay again?
Yeah, it seems a
Yeah.
little shady.
Yeah. So, Friday. How was everybody's Friday?
What did we do Friday? Friday was
Well, you had a panel on Friday.
I did. I had a public first reading 101 panel. This is the same panel that I held at Furrydelphia this year. I had about 30 people show out, and it turned out better than I expected. Lifty was there to provide some help and comic relief, but
Yep.
mostly help. And yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people were engaged. We had a lot of people ask questions and get informed about how to suit in public and where to suit and where not to suit and how to take care of your suit, of course. My one gripe is with the convention, they didn't have any water.
Yeah, there was
In-
no water, and
in
I
the
requested water
Yeah.
to be in the room.
Everybody had to like leave the room and have the water outside the room, which was kind of crap because I was kind of hacking my lungs out in the middle of it until I got some water from a very helpful attendee. Thank you so much for whoever that is that they're listening. I don't think they are, but yeah, I want to thank them for that. And what else was happening? We also had the
dealers don't open Friday, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. It felt like it was at least twice as big as it was last year because it was in like a more of a warehouse setting. Whereas last year it was just in like one of the smaller rooms, and people's stuff sold out pretty fast.
Oh yeah,
it was kind of crazy. Yeah, like Bray's booth had a line the entire time, and I think he sold out most of his stuff day one. And they even like some like smaller artists who's like I really like King Guru stuff wanted to pick up a shirt, sold out of every size but large within like the first 3 hours. I was like, damn. I was like, well.
That's good.
It's good at least. Like they're getting sales. I really like their stuff, but I'm just gonna pick up one from their online store. But yeah, the sales seemed pretty crazy, like all around.
Yeah. And we also had the macro micro meetup. There was some difficulties with the macro micro, with not just the macro micro meetup, but also with an event that was happening at 9 p.m. yesterday.
Yes.
Salox, do you want to...
So what had happened was this year with the macro micro meetup, unlike last year, this year was unofficial, so it was not on the schedule at all. We met where we usually meet, where it's not unofficial, outside the doors to the grand ballroom. In this instance, Fox and Pepper show was about to start, so the crowd for the macro micro meetup intermingled with the people for the Fox and Pepper show. So it kind of got really crowded to the point where you had con staff come and say, okay, this unofficial meetup is moved to a different location. So, okay, no problem, right? We all went to this different location. It was by the fishbowl, that people call it.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, we went into an unoccupied room. Well, that got filled up too quickly. Then we got moved upstairs, and we stayed there for about, I want to say, 15, 20 minutes before con staff came and again told us that we had to disperse. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was very
that was
complicated
very chaotic,
chaotic
That's
and
fucked.
Oh, yeah.
unnecessary, actually.
You guys want to have a meetup but not have us be involved? We have to make you charge? Or do something fucking stupid? That's not going to happen.
And then there was a panel, the Fursuit Rampage panel, which apparently didn't happen because someone had already come in prior to that and stomped on all the boxes. So when it did happen, there was no boxes. There was no boxes to step on, and people were just dancing around, and it was...
Yeah, what the hell?
It was so weird.
Like, come on, people. Somebody actually reserved those boxes for a specific purpose. I know that they were going to be destroyed anyway, but they weren't supposed to be destroyed by you. They weren't supposed to be destroyed at that time. Be considerate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like unfortunately for some people, conspiracy is just not their language. And you've probably read some of the staff tweets that's just like, oh, they have to tweet out the same thing every year. It's like, please don't throw stuff off the balcony. Like, they shouldn't have to tweet that every year, but they do.
Please don't throw mattresses.
Yeah, just please don't throw shit off your balcony.
That's because these people want to act like children, even though they're adults. They're grown-ass kids.
That actually reminds me of a story one time when I was in the service.
Mm-hmm.
We were drunk as all fucking get out. The usual. Every Saturday or Friday. Get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Black out, forget the war times. So, while we were drunk, we thought, how far can we fucking chuck this damn mattress off the fucking balcony? So we chucked that fucking thing, and it landed, I have no fucking idea, directly on the flagpole that was actually across the fucking street.
Oh my god.
That thing fucking glided, because we had the biggest guy with us, who was the fucking Hulk, but in human form. I'm not gonna say his name. Awesome guy. Love the dude to death. Dude can fucking eat a mattress like there's no tomorrow. Like, I'm talking, that thing went straight onto the flagpole and impaled on it.
Oh god.
So they got this mattress on top of the fucking flagpole, Thank God the flag wasn't on it because it was the end of the day.
All rise for the national anthem. What the fuck is that?
You take down the flag after retreat, during retreat and all that stuff. So, luckily it was an empty flagpole.
Yeah.
Man, the MPs were very fucking confused when they rolled up seeing a bunch of drunk dudes on the roof screaming to high hell, being like, "Fuck yeah, we did it!" Seeing a fucking mattress impaled on the flagpole. Oh, man.
You were proud of that.
Oh, I'm very fucking proud of that.
Oh my god.
Leadership, not so much. We had a hell of a safety brief the next fucking time we came in formation. They're like, okay, just because we have to say this now, don't fucking throw mattresses off the top of a fucking barracks. Oh man, we had the shit smoked out of us come Sunday.
Yep.
It was a hell of a detox run, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Any alcohol in my body was now in a nice puddle on the floor in the form of sweat and vomit.
Oh.
It was glorious.
I don't know if I call that glorious, but it's certainly something.
Oh, jeez.
It was amazing. The most intense smoking I ever had. Well, one of the most intense smokings I ever had in my time of service. It was amazing. The ingenuity of a man that's angry to come up with some of this shit is outstanding.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't worry, we got the mattress down from the pole. We had to climb up it and try to fucking remove it. That was it.
Who had to climb up it? Everybody or just one person?
I tried my best, but I ended up falling like halfway off the top of the pole because I was
Drunk
literally
still.
my bones and everything that was in my body was liquefied from the smoking we had
Oh,
in the
Oh,
Jesus.
yes.
beginning of the fucking first half of the day.
Yeah.
So we had to call out like some fucking engineers who had a fucking bucket truck to go up and actually get it down. But it was quite funny seeing a bunch of liquefied men try to climb up the pole, and failing over and over again, just laying on the ground, giving up. Just the amount of like life falling from their eyes, saying, "Fuck, I'm dead. I can't move anymore." The leadership has paralyzed me through improving my physical stature. I could not move the next few days out of my bed. We actually had to get medical waivers.
Oh, damn.
It was really bad. Like, apparently we had such intense muscle failure that, because some of us, we don't do that shit on the regular. We just go to the gym and, pump normally.
Yep.
Some people are fine because they're not human and somehow have the muscle structure of, like, I don't know, God or something.
Me, obviously, me.
You fucking wish, you pussy. But, yeah, dude, I was just laying in my bed thinking I was gonna die. Like, I even thought my heart was liquefied.
So, Sharky, could you yeet a mattress off a balcony at a convention?
I mean, if I could get away with it, I'd damn well try.
I think that'd be quite the hotel
Furthermore,
charge.
2020, we're gonna do that.
God, no. Please
Yes.
don't.
Let's
No.
do
No. You're going to...
I think that's how you get banned from conventions.
Yes, you're gonna get the Hyatt Regency so mad that they're gonna fucking yeet Furthermore out of Arlington. That's what gonna
Okay,
happen.
FAU 2020,
It's gonna
let's
eat
do it.
my ass.
You want them to just die, don't you?
What, FAU? Yeah, they suck. Yeah, it's the worst.
Way to
con
just
ever.
be blunt right there
What?
and there.
FAU is the worst furry convention in existence right now.
Not Rain. Oh, Rainforest doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rainforest doesn't
yeah,
exist
no,
anymore.
I still put it up there even though it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Fair.
Oh God, yeah,
It's
Rainforest.
in the honorable mentions.
Like the dishonorable mentions.
I guess.
Oh.
You guys ever yeet a mattress off a fucking building before?
Nope, can't say I have.
Want to try?
I know.
You guys yeeted
A friend of my
anything
cousin
off a
has
building
yeed
before?
himself off of a balcony.
Let's go to a mattress firm and just raid the mattress firm
What?
and bring all
So-
all the mattresses from the mattress firm to the convention
Wait,
center. We just have like mattress eating championships.
Well,
So,
wait, I wanna hear
without
this.
giving too much detail, I'll say that my cousin knows like some very smart but also dumb people. He's a programmer. He's done like NDA shit for like Facebook and people like that. And that's a very long story. He was forced to take a job there because he hacked them, and they're like,
Oh.
you either work here or we call the cops on you.
Okay.
So, but he got really drunk, like really, really drunk, and just jumped off the balcony. Just because he
Whoa.
could.
I mean,
Damn.
I think all of us have jumped off a balcony at some point in time. I mean, I did it.
Wait, what? No, I have never done that when I was drunk.
That unfortunately parked right below me, but
Not even in my drunkest state have I ever jumped off a balcony, Sharky.
my friend, you have not been truly drunk before.
Well, FAU is the drunkest you will ever see me, and that was bad.
That was bad.
That's as drunk as I will ever get.
That was. I'm still laughing over that shit. You
Oh.
tried pushing me, and you fell over. I didn't even move. I was like, you pushed like a wood pillar. It just didn't fucking work.
Damn, you got told.
Hilarious.
Shut up, Lifty.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I remember one time I've actually got yeeted outside of a fucking window in the second story of my barracks. That was actually kind of fun.
Oh
I
shit.
was drunk, so I didn't feel anything.
You
Till
just
the
felt
next
it the
day, I was
next
like,
day.
Do it again, bitch.
What?
Yeah,
Do it again.
I was egging him on to throw me out the fucking window again.
Oh god.
He didn't throw me out the window. He was sober enough to realize that I will literally make him throw me out the window until I hurt myself.
Oh my god.
See, the common denominator in all this is alcohol. So,
Yeah.
you know.
That is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
true.
Alcohol
Alcohol
few
certainly
other
does
substances,
things. And
definitely.
you had an alcohol experience earlier, I believe.
Yes, I did.
You had a very special alcohol experience that you can only experience in Chicago.
Yes, I did. So this morning, Riley actually treated me to what is called a Chicago handshake.
In my
And-
defense, you asked me to bring it, so
Yes, yes.
Hey, Chicago.
I am also just
Yes.
an asshole too.
So what a
it
Chicago
was enjoyable
handshake
for me.
is basically one shot of Jepson's Malort and
A tall boy of old style,
and a tall boy of old style.
and they're both bad for different reasons.
Yeah. Well, actually, they're bad for like extreme opposite.
Extreme
reasons.
opposite reasons, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say. So Jepson's Malort, I think you did your little bit about it earlier, but it's,
Yeah.
I'll start with a little bit about. I'm not sure if this is official or true, but I like to believe it's true because it's fun. Yeah, it's that crap. It is
Yep,
that trash.
yep,
So the guy who made it,
That's
Jepson Malort, allegedly had smoked so much cigarette that his taste buds were fried. So Jepson Malort, like that alcohol that he made, was one of 3 things that he could identifiably taste. And he's like, "Oh, I like this. I can tell what it is."
Gasoline, basically.
Yeah, it's like
It's not even like
it's
gasoline.
not even gasoline. It's very planty. I think my favorite description
It's like
of it.
Ipecac.
It is a little bit like Ipecac too. My favorite description of it by far is it tastes like the smell of Home Depot's gardening department. It's
It
very
does.
rough.
It does. And what the
That's
worst part
awesome.
is,
I'm gonna try this now.
the worst part is that this taste. First of all,
It
you
sticks.
you have to just take the
You
whole
can't,
thing
you can't
down.
just do like a little swig because then you're just not going to want to do the rest.
Yeah,
you have to just tank the
yeah,
shot.
yeah.
No alcohol scares me. I don't think you understand.
Oh, you have not
And
tried
this
Malort.
I will
stuff-
literally drink anything that has ethanol in it.
The
You have not tried
taste
Malort.
of
You guys seen
Malort.
me with my moonshine at a con before?
See, moonshine can be tasty though. I'll
Yes.
argue that point.
Yeah, yeah, it can be.
We've had a friend of a friend who's brought moonshine to cons before, and if you do it right, it can be very tasty.
It can be very
Malort,
dangerous.
it can also be dangerous because it's too tasty.
Yep.
But Malort is disgusting.
Yeah. So
And Old Style, the other half of the Chicago handshake, is also
Warn people,
disgusting.
Hey, if you don't drink this right, you're gonna go fucking blind.
Yeah, moonshine can do that to you if
Yeah.
you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My shit is literally just pure fucking jet fuel with a few drops of fucking water.
goddamn.
It was so good though because I was walking around the con with my friends. Like, you guys want some water?
I mean, I really wish I could find a bottle of Jepson's Malort somewhere in Maryland so that I could just have you over and have you
But
just
have
try
you
it.
experience it.
Just take a video. Of
Can
me
I have some?
chugging, Like, straight, like,
Yeah,
I have
sure.
some in
you
my
can have
room
some,
if you
yeah,
really
you
want to try
some?
it.
Go ahead. You
if
can
you've
drink
never
it. But
had it,
oh my god,
we can do this later, and you
Okay,
can try
so
it. But
when
I
I took-
promise you, it is terrible.
when I took the shot of
I'm sure it is.
Jepson's,
I've had some bad fucking alcohol before. I've been
I promise
fucking
you it's
around
bad.
the
I promise you
Walmart.
it's the
Shit,
worst
that's
thing you'll have in your life.
thankfully
Yeah.
banned in the US.
when I had my shot of Jepson's Malort, I took it down and I was just like, I held it in my mouth, then I swallowed it, and the taste was so
It's very
unbelievably
and planty
horrid
and awful.
that I wanted to gag and then just vomit it back out, and I couldn't. I struggled to just keep it down. Then he gave me the old style.
Oh, yes.
The tall boy of old style. And now, while Jeppson's Malort has this extremely
Extreme
strong taste that
Old
will linger for hours and hours and hours.
Old style is very bland.
Yeah.
It's like bland to the point where it sucks, because it's just they're bad for opposite reasons. It's just like it just tastes like wet bread. It really does.
It tastes like Perrier.
Or just like seltzer water or something, but like without
It
the
doesn't have a taste.
It has no
Without the-
taste.
yeah,
It's an alcohol with no taste.
yeah. It's very bizarre.
No, like I'm talking. This thing had no taste. You couldn't taste anything. No sting, no burn, nothing. But what's
No, I mean-
dangerous about it is the fact that like how it's mixed with shit. I have no idea what the fuck it's called. It's a weird fucking thing I had in Poland.
Mm.
Just from the way it's mixed, it's so packed full of fucking ethanol that if you drink too much of it, like I'm talking 2 fucking full drinks of this shit, you're gonna be on the ground crawling around being like, I want to fucking die.
Yeah, I've had some really strong Polish beers, and they don't fuck around in Poland. They will give you
Polish
beers that are like
beers are strong.
12
Fuck, dude.
12% alcohol, 17% alcohol.
And the coffee beer. Did you have the coffee
Dude.
beer? That was
Go
10%.
to
It was tasty.
Germany.
I think I had it last year, and I was just struggling to get it down.
I love that coffee beer.
They will knock you on your ass with
Yeah.
a small mug would fuck you up.
Uh,
Don't ask for a
Oh
fucking
yeah, the
stein.
house is
Ask
mostly
for a
Chicago
small
and Detroit.
mug,
yeah,
Because
Or
I
the
don't want you
birthplaces of
dying
house.
on me.
yeah.
We will miss that beautiful ass of yours.
Mine?
Yes. He ain't talking about mine.
Your ass.
He is a nice
My
ass.
ass is ugly. It's quite literally has.
My ass is
all over.
ugly and hairy and flat.
I know, that's why it's nice.
Dude, mine has scar tissue all over it where I shot. Trust me, you don't want to see my ass.
Okay, but you don't want to see my ass either.
We do.
Hey, your ass is more presentable than mine.
It's more presentable how? It is covered with hair.
Some guys
Not
are into
covered in
that.
scar tissue.
Well, yeah, there's a big ass scar on my ass. Does that count?
Big ass scar
where
on your
the scar
ass.
tissue is so inconvenient because people will be like, "Oh, look, an ass." It would just go flat and then suddenly square off to being an ass.
What?
That sounds
I was
bizarre.
shot right on top, like in between the top portion of the crack of my ass.
Ugh.
So
Oh.
they
Like
had
right
to
in your
remove all
tailbone?
that because
Ugh.
it was. Unless you guys want to hear a very gruesome story.
I think I'll
No.
pass.
Just
Ah,
say a
we'll
lot of
pass.
it
Well, yeah, I
and then
think
you
we'll
know,
pass. I think we got more than enough detail on that one.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about dicks, because you all interrupted me during my podcast.
Oh my
I'm
god.
still very upset about that because I'm sitting here
Mm-hmm.
just laying in bed doing this podcast when I could be doing something a lot more entertaining.
You
Like
don't find
what?
us entertaining?
It's still entertaining, but it's not as
Just
entertaining
not
as
the
getting, you know,
kind of
my dick
entertainment
sucked,
that
but
you need right now.
Sharky, you need to be here at MFF with us.
If I was at MFF, I would be in the middle of a sex party and you guys would have to rescue me.
No, we just do this podcast without you.
Mhm. We would.
Hell no, you'd have to rescue me so that way we have a cool story to tell.
Yeah, we tie you up, and then we just like we just
pull
prop
you
you
out.
up in front, completely tied up in front of the mic.
Pulled out.
That sounds kinky as shit. Let's do it. Now, will pants be required during this endeavor?
What do you think? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not wearing pants right now.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
I'm pretty sure you're not wearing pants right now anyway, so.
Well, you'd be correct.
Exactly, see? I know you.
Because I was interrupted.
Yeah,
I was getting the hell edged out of me, and you fucking were like, "Hey, you awake?" I'm like, "Oh God, please."
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna die.
this morning I had a Chicago
My
handshake,
nuts are gonna explode.
and the
I'm
old
sure
style
I'm
is
sure
like
you enjoy this.
The old style
the
is not
the
great.
fruit stripe gum of beers.
Oh yeah, it's got almost no taste, and whatever little taste you get out of it, it's just gone.
You take a sip.
It's an
Oh,
awful fucking description.
what?
Did you enjoy it?
Beer.
God,
I
no.
don't think any part of a Chicago handshake is
It's
enjoyable.
not supposed to be.
Well,
It's an
You're
experience.
intriguing me even more to drink this fucking booze.
It
Do
is
it.
just
Do
an
it.
it is an experience.
Do
That is
it.
all it
It's
is.
full on hooch at this point.
Yeah.
Sounds of it.
It's not even.
I mean,
it's not
if
even
you
good
wanna try the
alcohol, or,
Malort,
it's not even
it-
al-
I
it's
mean,
not even,
he's
like,
got some
highly
in his room.
alcoholic. It's just gross.
Yeah. And like I said, you're tasting like two extreme opposite
Yeah.
ends of
I think we
taste.
somehow ran through all the old style already. I brought a 6-pack. I thought that'd be
Riley,
enough.
are you gonna be at the New Year's Fur Bowl or at CCFC?
I am not. I usually just only do MFF because I'm from Chicago and that's more convenient for me. And
Okay.
I don't have like large amounts of travel money at the moment, unfortunately.
I'm gonna say,
All
if
right.
you're gonna be there, bring some of that shit.
Bring some of
We're
that
gonna
awful
take a video
Malort.
of me fucking destroying
Lifty,
drinks.
bring some of that to New Year's. Oh wait, you're not going there,
Yeah, no, I'm not.
and you're not going to the other one. Okay.
I mean, if they've got a liquor store nearby, I'm gonna buy a bottle and just bring it
Just
with
bring
me.
it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're gonna have to make a video of me just destroying these drinks, and just full on regretting my life choices later.
Let's do it.
But
For
that's
the
the point
meme.
of alcohol. It's,
Yes.
You're supposed to regret your life choices, right?
We should do this live. Take shots
Just
live.
shots
On
Malort.
Twitch, sure. let's
Yes,
do it. I don't
yes. Just to see
Just
your
get banned
face
from
and
Twitch.
his face and my face.
Start fucking puking.
I mean, you might puke after having the Malort.
Hey,
I think the first time I did
ashamed
3
of
Chicago
thinking you're a bunch
handshakes,
of
and that
idiots
was
never
an
drinking their life
experience.
Truly, competitively.
Yeah.
I have met legitimate competition drinkers that are like, oh yeah, it's fantastic to puke, and you drink even more.
Yeah. But also, back on Saturday at MFF, I actually thought that Saturday went pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty uneventful. It was
Did anyone
really
die
fun.
of alcohol poisoning?
No.
As far as I know, no.
As far as I'm aware, no. I've heard sirens around here and there, but I'm sure some people don't know how to hold their liquor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, there was one pretty fun thing that happened today that I kind of bullied you into again.
Oh, yeah, well,
but it was a
go
fun
ahead.
thing. We saw the Neo Futurists.
Mhm.
They do their play. Their first play was Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind, and they had to change that for like some weird legal reason. So now it's just called the Infant Wrench. But base idea: 30 plays, 60 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
and they're all fairly, for the most part, silly, but some of them are very serious and like sad and somber. But it's just a crazy experience. It's difficult to describe unless you're there.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one play that I would go back to try and like explain how insane it is to people is that one, like the bee dance play.
Yeah.
Where it was like everyone
Yes.
was just like flying around with their
Like a
hands in
bee,
the air,
yeah.
like a bee, and there's like tell your like trying to get the audience to do it, like tell your friends, and then just more and more people come towards the front.
Yeah. And then at the
More-
very end.
and then at the very end, they hold up like just a single bottle of honey and like the fruits of our labor, and everyone just rushes towards it and they start pouring honey on people,
now,
and it was just
Like a
insane.
Strip show.
yeah.
Oh, it is so fun.
What was the one?
Like, if I had
Oh.
someone pouring honey all
The
over
pussy
me,
one?
they'd be like,
No, not the pussy one. I think it's like
pussy
you
one was
can't
pretty good, too.
make me get a credit card.
Oh, you can't get me get a credit card. That one was good too.
That was that
Where
was
he's just
awesome.
eating the cheese balls the entire time.
Yes,
And, then,
he
just
eats
pulls out the
marinara.
marinara
Yes.
and eats straight marinara.
what?
Yes.
All
Oh my
while in the
God.
background, he's hearing like the Wells Fargo card talk dirty to
Yeah.
him.
What?
Oh yeah, it was like the bit was like it was like
This
a
is
Wells,
something
it was like
to
a sexual
experience.
innuendo thing with like a Wells Fargo credit card. And
Yes.
This fat credit card in your tight wallet. Just one of those guys just eating cheese balls and
Yes.
drinking marinara.
I want your interest all over my face.
Yeah. It's
Seriously sounds like
it's
a
pretty
horrible
insane.
movie.
It's very fun, and it's hard to put correctly into words unless
Yes,
you're there,
it
because
was-
it's an experience.
Yes, it was enjoyable, and I definitely, you know, you say that you bullied me into it, but I enjoyed every
fun.
minute of it.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
I try to get as many people as I can to get to go to it.
It was an amazing
'Cause
experience.
it is just truly wonderful. And the wrench this year was very, very funny too. It was the wrench of shirts.
Yeah, I
So-
think it was.
yeah.
I think it was worth standing in line to get in.
It was
and
most
watch.
definitely. It was a very long line too. They've got
Yeah.
Ooh, I have an idea that just popped up in my head.
What's that?
Let's drag Silox to a strip show.
No.
Drag to a strip club.
See, this is why I wish that we did this at BronyCon, because BronyCon had a burlesque show, and it was like an all
I
bodies.
feel like MFF probably used to, but that would be like back like decades ago, and they
Yeah.
just don't anymore.
I just want to see Silox's face as he just sinks into those little chairs that literally make you stand out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't want to go to a strip show. I don't.
Yeah.
It
You
would
don't
not.
have a choice.
Yeah. Now on Saturday, what's that?
Riley, you in on this?
On what strip? No, I've been to strip clubs. I'm not a fan. But
Oh no, I'm just doing this so I can watch Silox like.
just force him to do it.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
No,
I have a
do
GIF.
not.
I have a GIF that reminds me of this. I'll show it to. I'll put it on the on Twitter later. But also on Saturday, MFF had their fursuit menagerie, which is usually fursuit or furry conventions. They have like a fursuit parade, but MFF does everything a little bit different. And when it comes to fursuit parades, this is no exception. They actually do a fursuit menagerie instead of a parade, in which they have different stages for photography and based on different themes. Fursuiters congregate to these stages, get their photos taken in a group.
I think that happened right before the Neo-Futurists, and
Yeah,
I was walking by there, and I saw Jib Cody.
Yeah,
He's very nice. We
Yeah.
got a very quick picture with him.
Yeah. I also got a quick picture with Jib Cody in the fursuit menagerie. The menagerie, the good thing about the menagerie is that it's a very easy way to meet whoever and whatever fursuiter you want to meet, because they're all congregating
Just
there.
congregating around the
Yeah,
same
in
area.
one place. So it's very easy to find fursuiters that you like.
Yes.
But my gripe with the menagerie is that it is very chaotic. You're basically having a
it's
bunch of
everyone in front of,
fursuiters,
like, in
bunch
front
of
of the hotel.
non-fursuiters, bunch of photographers in one large room, and it gets very chaotic when people are moving around here and there and getting stationary here and there, and it just gets very, very chaotic.
I don't like them. I'm of the belief that cons like this should definitely consider fursuit parades,
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
given that it's cold outside and it's way better for
Because fursuit is
fursuits.
very
Yes.
warm. So
Temperature regulation.
Yes.
There
I'm
you
There's
go.
not-
temperature education.
I'm not sure why they've never done a
Just an
parade.
outside parade. Maybe
Yeah.
just because would that require like street closures, and maybe that's just too difficult to obtain.
Um,
what do you think their reasoning is?
I'm sure
It-
you can keep the actual parade around the con area that's still outside, so you won't actually have to shut down shit.
I think they would have to
I feel
close
like
some
they would have to close some
some
streets if they want to do like
streets.
an actual parade.
But they
with a
had the
bunch of
cooperation of
fursuits.
the police already, so it
They
wouldn't be
do,
too
but-
hard to just say, "Hey, can we have this street closed from this time to this time?"
I
as we
feel
have
like it would
this
have
event.
to be a fairly small stretch, because you also have to consider that you got a lot of people Ubering
Well, I think
from
they
hotel
can-
to hotel, and like a lot of people ordering food, and it gets kind of messy.
I think they can make an easy route from the Hyatt across Bryn Mawr to the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, and then just
do that like
Yeah.
real quick.
yeah,
Well,
just a
maybe.
very short route. But I'm also of the belief that furry conventions should still hold fursuit parades, because in the menagerie, I was in two stages for two different themes. One of them was predators, the other was wolves. And in both instances, I had a fursuiter in front of me that almost completely concealed my face, and I was just trying to like get into the shot, trying to see the camera behind the fursuiter in front of me. And in both instances, I mean, I'm probably going to see the picture, and I'm going to see just like a fourth of Clef's head, or I'm going to see his ears.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see Clef. So this is kind of a detriment to the fursuiters that really want to be seen and have pictures taken, pictures and video, which a lot of people do on fursuit parades.
Yeah. I think with MFF, the reason why they don't do that is because it would be hard to rope off the avenue that the Hyatt is next to, that is
Bryn Mawr.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a main thoroughfare.
Yes,
and
it
there's
is.
no way the city will.
Well, actually, not
break
quite.
that off.
No, I disagree. I mean, it's a main thoroughfare to go into the Hyatt,
Yeah.
but it's a dead end street.
No, I mean the one at a no. I
River
mean,
Road?
Yeah, they would have to rope that off as well. They're not going to do that.
I don't think they'd need to. They would just need to, like I said, they would have to just start somewhere in the Hyatt and then snake their way through, cut across Bryn Mawr Avenue to the other side, go along the Donald E. Stevens Center, go inside, and then end it in one of the ballrooms in the Stevens Center. I don't think they'd need to cross River Road at all. But that, there's not a lot of sidewalk space, so they
Yeah,
might just
there's
say,
not.
well, because of safety concerns, we don't want to do this,
Yeah.
because there's not enough space to have people walk.
Yeah, it would be hard to wrangle that kind of space.
Yeah.
I think that's the main issue.
Yeah. So it is unfortunate that the fursuit menagerie is pretty much all that fursuiters have when it comes to good photo ops with other fursuiters, and also with the general public. But of course, they also have a fursuit photography room in the fishbowl, which I also did.
Yeah.
I took a few pictures. They'll be up on my Twitter later once they're developed. And we also did the like you said, the infinite wrench.
The Infinite Wrench.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
And they had
And
the
al-
wrench of shirts this year.
Yeah.
Which was very fun.
And Silox, you had another panel that you were part of.
Yes, the furry.
This tonight.
Yes, the Furry State Admins Chat. So it's
oh yeah,
a
you mentioned that.
panel for all the people who are state admins, and we got together and we pretty much sat around and gave our horror stories and or advice on how to interact in your state admin group. And it's funny, after the panel was over, this guy who I'm not going to name came up to me and in a very threatening way got into my face and was almost physical with me because he was banned in my state and several other states. Come to find out, about a couple hours later, he was picked up by the police.
Oh wow.
Yes. So, yeah.
That guy for being an asshole. He deserves that shit.
Yeah.
I don't take kindly to people being confrontational because they're assholes and they got what they deserve.
Yeah.
Well, he is friends with Furry Raiders, and
Yeah.
telling me that is like, well, okay, that's like a big strike against you, buddy. So
Yep.
there's no chance you'll ever
Fuck
be
that
banned.
guy.
With a bunch of douchebags that sit at home and have horrible fucking neck beards and shit. Good on you.
Yeah.
Bunch of wannabe fucking Antifa motherfuckers is what they are.
Wanna talk some shit.
Oh, they don't even like that term Antifa. They prefer to be more like Hitler.
Yeah. They're a little more on the the alt
They-
right
they-
side
they
of things.
like-
Same
they like
thing,
Hitler
just on
more.
a different fucking extreme spectrum. That's it.
Yeah.
Except they don't go out and actually do shit. They just sit around and be like, I'm gonna fucking dox you.
I'm still waiting on one to dox me. He hasn't done it yet. It's
Yeah.
been like a year and a half now.
It's
Yeah,
a
I just don't
simple
fuck with
thing.
that shit.
If they do anything, you can fucking destroy them with a bunch of law measures.
Did the Furry Valley Simba Lion dox you?
No.
He ain't got nothing.
No. Just like Hanny hasn't doxed me yet either. So
Yep.
I know he's full of shit.
Yep.
He says he has a law after me.
Ha.
You clearly don't, bro.
No.
No. They're all full of shit.
So, of course, Saturday here at MFF is about to come to a close, and we're about to join the rave tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually surprisingly excited for one in particular.
Yeah.
Because I went Thursday night and I was not feeling that vibe. I think we talked a little bit about that, just the sort of music that plays.
Yeah. Well, talk to us about the variety of the music.
It's not very much of a variety at all, as far as I'm concerned, at least in my experience. And I haven't really gone to it the previous couple of years because it's about what I expected. There's a lot of big room house and there's bro step, and that was mostly the experience. And it's just, there's not enough variety. And so the one person I am excited to see will hopefully shake shit up.
Yeah.
Because they have a reputation for doing that.
And that is...
Nonstop Pup.
Oh, yeah. Nonstop Pup.
Very excited for that. I heard he dropped a Sophie track last year, and furries just did not know what the fuck to do. He played Pony Boy, and everyone was just like, what the fuck is this? And that's what I want to fuck with that. I would dance the hell to some Sophie stuff.
I would love for them to play Eurobeat at a furry convention, but they will never, ever do that because furries wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
I
mean, even like
confused.
So we're in Chicago, and footwork is actually a very large genre here as well. And so I talked to Nonstop Pup earlier. He's a very nice guy. He's got very good music taste, and I talked about footwork. He's like, oh, so could you even like sneak a DJ Rashad track in there or something? He's like, no, furries wouldn't know what the fuck to do with footwork. I was like, really? I was like, yeah. Damn it.
Damn.
We're in Chicago. We're basically Chicago. It's Rosemont. It's close enough.
I want to see a bunch of furries in suit just in a mosh pit.
Oh,
they will do that.
Oh, they did that.
They do
that. That happened at Nonstop Pub set last year, from what I heard. And I think something
Like,
actually
just
caught
some
on
fucking
fire.
metal or death metal or something going on, playing some fucking Slipknot or where the fuck, and just seeing just people just furry bodies plowing into each other. I can also imagine that getting quite lewd because furries fuck everything that moves. But
Speak for yourself. I don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't get lewd at this convention at all.
No,
Yeah.
I don't go to conventions for that. I can just do
Yeah.
that at home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not
Same.
the main thing I go to conventions for. I go to conventions mostly just to hang out with friends.
Hang out with friends, get
the
drunk.
fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
All that other stuff is just a fucking bonus. I'm not all about sex here. I just
Yeah.
put that up as a front so that way I can get laid more. All about getting laid, guys.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
I think
champ.
I had a
No-
funny
no
story.
comment.
Funny story regarding the rave that I did go to on Thursday.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I think I told you this bit too. So there's this guy there who, the music he was playing like, just basic house stuff, and then had like these sort of breaks where they just do like this soft synth stuff for like 2 solid minutes, just no build up whatsoever, just really quiet progressive house synths, no beats under it whatsoever. And there was this dude who was probably hopped up on something, wearing this like Detroit Hustles Harder shirt, just losing his shit, like, when the fuck is this break gonna end? He was like frantically pacing, and I was just like, I felt that, but like just more inside, It's like that's how I feel internally.
He was saying everything that everybody was thinking.
It was a bit much. I mean, to have just like very just soft synths for that long with just not even a beat under it.
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
Yeah, I gotcha. I understand that. So with that, I think that's about the end of our MFF experience. So taking it all in, let's just do like a little recap and a little summary of how overall do you think MFF 2019 was compared to other years, other conventions?
I'd say that it is. I don't know. I don't know if I can grade it. If I had to grade it, it's had its goods and its bads, but I'd have to give it incomplete at the time.
Okay, that's
Yes.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to hold on. I'm passing judgment because I feel like I'm gonna just give it the full 4-day experience, and then afterwards going to say my piece. It definitely did not start on the best foot.
No, it didn't.
No, I mean,
But I also
Reg
think,
is
but
never
It
a fun
stepped
time.
on rusty nails. What are you talking about?
yeah, but I also don't want to trash it completely because it had its moments.
It does have its
It
moments.
had some
and-
really great moments,
and-
especially with the infinite wrench panel.
Oh yeah, they're so fun, and they're here every year.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend that.
Yeah.
It's just it's an experience. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And they also do shows in Chicago just regularly every weekend.
Awesome. Yeah. But with that said, I do feel like we should just go ahead and wrap up this podcast. And thank you for joining us on this MFF special. And also, we'd like to thank Riley Lahti for, again, joining us for
thanks
this
for having
podcast.
me.
Yeah. So if you'd like our listeners to follow you on Twitter or Telegram or wherever, if you want to go ahead and shout out your,
I guess
your
I can
social
shout
media.
out my social media. Sure, I mostly just have a Twitter. It's griefgiver if anyone cares.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
And you
I make
post-
this
and-
sort of garbage.
Oh, well,
mostly.
that's good art. That's,
It's a monoprint.
yeah. So, yeah. That's really pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah,
I just
again,
need to throw together a
the
quick badge.
Twitter is at griefgiverart.
Art.
Sorry, Art. Sorry.
It used to be art, and I changed it to Ot because I like
Yeah.
being cute, and I'm also an otter.
Yes. Yeah. And he usually posts his artwork on
Art or commissions I buy
Yeah.
off people because
Yeah.
they do love buying me some commissions.
Yeah. And with that said, we like to just close our podcast. Thank you very much for listening. And if you like what you hear, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on our videos on YouTube. And also hit that bell for notifications so that you get our newest episodes before anybody else. And also, if you like what you hear and you like our shenanigans, please feel free to follow us on Twitter at Furry Frequency. And also, one last announcement. I know that Silox has made this announcement already on Twitch, but we are soon going to make our switch to Twitch.
Yes, we're going to be on Twitch very, very soon. So no longer having to listen to pre-recorded episodes. We'll be live for all of you to listen to and see and make petty comments about and make other creepy comments about. You know who you are. I
Yep.
read the Twitter comments.
Yes, I do too. You know who you are.
You know who you are. But
Sharky,
yeah.
do not encourage them. Do not encourage them.
My people. Oh god, this is why no one messages me because I will bring every kind of fucking cringe spot there is.
So anyway, be on the lookout for our new channel on Twitch coming soon. And with that said, it is time to end. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is Furry Frequencies signing off with Lifty,
Silox.
Sharky!
And Riley.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and you have a wonderful evening.
Good night, South Bend, Indiana.
Good night, Nashville, Tennessee.
Everyone can equally go fuck themselves.
Okay, that's
Sure.
not appreciated. Don't be mean to everybody.
Good night, Chicago.
Hey.
A